Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Azure Dreams race. Let's get some hype in the chat. Hey, Wooga, how you doing today, man?
Welcome.
My name is Horizon. I'm joined by my co-commentator this morning or evening or whatever time we mad people are playing at. With my co-commentator, Gene Freak.
Oh, hello, everyone. You hyped for the match?
I certainly hope so. We got to get a little more hype going on in this here morning time.
Oh yeah. It's early in Eastern time, but today we have two top players going head to head, so it's gonna be great.
And see, I think our racers are ready to go, and we will go jump over there and give them a countdown here in just a moment. And so we have today is, as you can see, KaineTheBrain versus Hextreme. We're taking a place in our lower bracket series of Redemption as they fight back in to get into that spot to go off against the grand finalist. So these are people that have lost a round and are trying to take back that loss and turn it around into a victory. And we have some pretty high-level players here. KaineTheBrain and Hextree are some of the best we have in the community. So this is going to be a pretty high race today. And if you're not familiar with what we're doing here, we are doing a format we like to call Rock Me to the Top, which is a streamlined racing format where each player is going to take a shot at getting as high as they can. Honestly, there's a pretty good chance that we're going to see one of these floor 40 runs this morning. Both these two are very consistent runners.
Yes, definitely. But you never know. You can also take your first step on the second floor and step on an unlucky trap. So everything is still possible. But let's hope that we see some long matches here.
So what we're going to be seeing here is...
and yeah, there might be a lag in the Discord, so currently I'm not hearing Horza at the moment.
You're not hearing me? Testing.
Testing, can you hear me, Horza?
I can hear you.
You hear us, chat? Yeah, there was some sort of lag in the Discord, I think.
It's okay. It's excellent. Good. We're glad we can hear that now. There must have just been some weird lag.
Very good. Very
Discord,
good.
Discord being Discord. Yeah. So what we're going to be saying here today are seeded races. If you've been paying attention to this tournament, you know what's going on. But if you're new here, normally in this game we can't see seeded the same tower because it is randomized. But thanks to the lovely work of our dear programmer in the community, we now have a seeded tower option. So now we are seeing racers race the exact same tower at each other.
Yeah, exactly.
And so we see them entering floor 2 right now. This is going to be kind of the search for items as much as they can time, where they trip before they get to some really bad floors. What wand was that? I did not get.
And there's a scarlet wand on Hextree's side, and Kaine will definitely find that as well.
I think Kaine already. Oh no, Kaine did get his too. There it is.
Yeah, there it is. So yeah, that's the best possible start. First of all, the troll was the first enemy they encountered, and defeating a troll immediately gives you a level up. And while you're level 1, your HP is very, very low. So the very beginning of the tower is actually very scary because you have very low HP. But once you reach that level 2, you start feeling more comfortable.
It basically doubles your health pool when you hit that level 2.
Yeah, and yeah, that's true.
what you see Kaine fighting right now is what you never want to see when you're level 1, because there's a very good chance that you're going to die against a flame.
Yeah, that's the worst thing. Good thing you have the fireball from the get-go, so you can just give that fireball a try if you have to face the flame with level 1.
It's unfortunate because if you get that level 1, you take 2 fire charges to get through a flame, which is
That is,
real bad to start off a run
yeah,
with.
yeah. The first fireball always comes with 5 charges, so it's a very reliable item. And having to spend 2 of those charges right away, and it doesn't even give you the level up if it's your first monster. So
Did it
flames
not?
are.
Unfortunately, we apparently are having an audio issue. Our player's audio is not working. Let me see if I can remedy that.
Right, well, working onto it.
It's an early morning. We may have very minor technical difficulties with things.
Yeah.
Please bear with us, friends.
So for the first 5 floors, the players are going to just search the floors completely, usually just to find the resources, because now that they are not level 1 anymore, they actually are more comfortable about fighting all the monsters you can face. So they can pretty much be pretty safe while looking for resources. That being said, Kaine actually skipped floor 4 completely, so there are definitely a different playing styles.
Yeah, when I usually deal with Kaine, like when I see Kaine running, Kaine is kind of one of our more wild players. I usually refer to him as a madman when he's running because he makes some pretty outlandish decisions that most of us in the community wouldn't do.
Yeah, and he's going very very fast, and with I would think probably doesn't really care about what his level is. This could spawn from thinking of other games he plays.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah, we do have audio. Right, that's nice. That's nice. So yeah, Kaine is a RPG player, plays Final Fantasy X and Grandia and games like that, and I don't know if that's affected, but he definitely goes fast, and that's that.
Yeah, Kaine is much more of a crazy player, and I think Hextree tends to be a little more defensive in terms of how he plays. So this should be a pretty interesting matchup in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
We'll probably see Kaine take a little bit of a lead early on, but Hextree is going to set himself up to come back pretty easily too. And
yeah.
When you're rolling with the Scarlet Wand, you're going to be catching up a lot faster than you normally do, thanks to the fact that with your mixed magic, it's going to increase your fire elemental damage considerably more than usual.
Yeah, that is correct. Wands are generally very good because they boost the mixture magic. The Q&A, your little blue and yellow friend, keeps flying next to you. Your friend, pet familiar, charges up your weapon, and since he's a fire elemental, Scarlet Wand is especially powerful because it also gives you the boost for the fire wand. So that's basically the most in this style of play, it's the most powerful weapon.
Yeah, since we're not going to be coming into this tower multiple times, this is pretty much the way you're going to want to fight everything forever. You're just not going to be able to build up your weapons and your gear like you normally would, like how the game intends you to, with
Kaine finds a place ball. Definitely good to have some firepower.
I'm going to try and turn down Kaine's audio a little bit.
Yeah, the music is a bit just on this end, it sounds just a bit loud.
Yeah,
but,
it just went up a lot.
Yeah, It's still
There we go.
manageable.
I think it's a little bit better now.
Yeah. So
Yeah, we have Kaine moving in already into the water floors.
mhm.
So, being that this game follows a
There's
traditional
an egg.
RPG elemental triangle going on, you have water, wind, and fire, and enemies can be one of those three elements. And Kune is a fire element, and these floors 6 to 9 are very heavy in water element. And elemental advantage is a very strong advantage against things.
It is. It is. Yeah. Yeah. If you don't pay attention to the elements, you cannot beat this game. Basically, it's a very imperative thing to have. So Kane found an egg. Kane found an egg. So that could be a clown or U-boat. So those two would be at least a good monsters to find in an egg. But you also have other uses for the eggs as well. So you don't have to hatch them.
Eggs come in a few varieties of uses. At least in this kind of mode, you can throw them at an enemy monster for an egg bomb, where the monster will pop out of the egg and attack. And I believe the damage is something like whatever your level times like 25 for the damage that monster is going to do. So it's basically gonna do max damage it possibly could at like level 4. And so you can use that for like a one-time enemy kill. You can hatch a monster and keep it as a pet, which is not always the best thing, but can be a way to recover if you lose Kune for some reason. And the biggest thing with that is later in the tower we're going to be getting an item called the Blue Collar, which allows you to have 2 pets out at once. And while you don't want to fight with 2 pets, you can fuse monsters. And if that's a clown or something, Kune always is going to win fusions. Because sometimes when you're fusing, other monsters can win those fusions and they'll get different abilities and such. But Kune will just be essentially inheriting passive abilities, and clowns give you double magic, which is pretty sweet, to say the least.
Yeah. And Vuga also commentating that the bloom is the most likely inhabitant in that egg. So depending on your playstyle, bloom is good or not. I'm not personally too happy about the bloom, but I know that Zen Knight would disagree with me here.
You can do some fusion juggling with it to make it good, but you kind of have to try really hard.
Yeah.
So Kaine plugging along nice and strong here. Hex tree's sitting at floor 6. Boy, that Scarlet Wand is doing a lot of work.
Oh, that's right.
It's doing a lot of work today.
Always so. Always great to see Scarlet Wand in action, because if you hit these monsters like Manivas with the copper sword, that's just that's so much pain. You have to hit them like 4 or 5 times before like a Maniva goes down. It's terrible.
We're seeing some pretty high numbers in damage here, but you'd probably be taking off 7 or 8 damage a hit at minimum from a lot of these monsters, which would be making a lot of these 3 to 4 shot kills instead of 2-shot kills. I mean, hitting 31 is not what you would normally be doing.
Yeah, in this game, good attack is definitely good defense. So if you have a good attack power or good resources, and consequently you don't take damage yourself, that's definitely a good way to go.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'm wondering if we're going to see Hextray explore all these floors a little more, because of the knowing that he has that Scarlet Wand is going to make him a lot more confident in getting to these water floors.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. So,
when you see an enemy like that's blue and flashing in the corner like that, that means they have expended their MP, which is basically in this game, MP is like energy. When they use up their energy, monsters can't do anything until it's recovered by an item. and so those balloons have been using their spell, which drains their MP a lot. And the same thing can happen to Kune eventually, is that he can use up all of his MP and he will do nothing for you anymore. Thankfully, they have some MP healing items, but they can get pretty scarce from time to time.
Yes, yeah, definitely. If you only get your you get one Peter fruit when you enter the tower, but if you don't find any other Peter fruits and you end up using your Polumpa egg, which is your first egg, if you use that as a bomb and you don't find any Peter fruits, your MP is gonna run out if you're gonna if you want to get to 40F. So the MP is sometimes you don't have to worry about it at all, and sometimes it's the reason why you lose. That you run out of MP. Yeah.
So I liked Hextree's tactic there. He found a warp trap, which is normally a bad time, because it can split you and your familiar up. And when your familiar is split away or you're away from it, you're in a very dangerous position. You don't want to be away because you both suck when you're alone.
that is definitely correct.
And Kaine picked up another egg on floor 11, and that might be a Garuda.
Garuda, yeah, and there's a go up trap. Boing.
Man, Kaine is just flying.
Kaine is flying, yeah.
Quite literally.
Yeah, knowing Kaine's playstyle a little bit, it could be possible that he doesn't hatch the eggs, but we'll see.
But he's got the blue collar. Like if he hadn't found that blue collar, I would have been like, he's never gonna hatch these eggs. Oh, truth glasses maybe? Star glasses.
Yeah, I think I saw Hextree having 4 pair of star glasses, so that's almost like one. That's almost like one having one U.
I hope his runners like my seed. Jesus. None of this like terrible seeds made by our dear quote unquote, many quotations around it, dear leader Sand Knight, who's legendary for making terrible seeds. Look at that. 2 extra eggs, a bunch of star glasses, a scarlet wand. Like, what more could these runners ask for?
Yeah, and yeah, the inventory is very good at the moment. So, and there's another treasure room. Oh, there's both Leolam and Peter. That's
nice. So, Kaine's been moving so quick, and so is Hextree. We haven't really got to talk about these floors that Kaine is on right now. These floors are not as scary in one sense as the water floors are in a lot of ways, but there is one particular monster that Kaine has thankfully avoided so far, which is the Kraken. Yeah. It's a water monster, obviously, because water monsters are always the worst. And it's a monster that does an obscene amount of damage, has an obscene amount of health, and has an obscene amount of defense. It's pretty much, by raw stats alone, the single worst monster you can run into in the tower.
Yeah.
Do not fight for any reason. If you are a casual player coming into this game, just leave him alone.
Yeah. Okay, and Hex is heating an egg.
Hatching an egg and
probably the newer.
I'm gonna guess because he's thinking Garuda. He's got Garuda. That's a Garuda. That's gonna change this whole race because I'll bet you that Kaine never hatches that egg.
So Garuda is so OP that the community actually has a separate category in the leaderboard for the runs where you use the Garuda. So Kaine is actually fighting Garuda at the moment, and this monster, if you well, he has the same ability. When you fight against him, he can abduct. So he can grab Kune and take him away, which is bad if you're fighting against a Garuda. But if you have a Garuda yourself, you can use it on yourself, and you can warp around from room to room looking for the elevator, and that's where you can find elevator very, very quickly.
Did he leave that Kaine? I hope he doesn't leave that behind.
Yeah. Probably he goes back for it.
As we see that it was a volcano, and lovely puns by Dear Wooga. Thank you for that.
KaineTheBraino. All right. So yeah, Volcano. What are your thoughts, Horza, about
On
Volcano?
volcanoes, they're kind of
Yeah.
they're pretty meh. I mean, like you can use them a couple times. Yeah, the volcanoes use a lot. I mean, Garudas or volcanoes. Volcanoes have an ability to poop a rock out. That's kind of works like the ice rock ball spell you'll find. And it's pretty good. It's a pretty good ability. Oh, hey, it's your favorite shield.
It's my favorite shield. Yeah.
Ice shield's a good shield.
Ice shield on Kaine's side. Yeah.
Yeah, Kaine's going all in with those blue sands he's been saving up.
Yeah. That's a tough ice shield now.
And Garuda's abduct ability is actually the unique ability for monsters that doesn't cost like any MP. It costs like a fourth of an MP. So you can spam it and it never loses MP. Which is why there are 2 leaderboards for any percent, is specifically because of the RNG nature of Garudas.
Yeah, basically the only downside is that you can spawn in the middle of the like a group of monsters with the Garuda, so that can happen.
It can happen, and like it's all super high rolly, and like when Garudas work, it's really busted, and when they don't work, it's just like everything else in this game.
Yeah, that's right.
They just kind of give you a bit of a. It's a little bit of a rough one. Oh wow, elevator train on Kaine's side.
Yeah.
But Hextree will be getting that exact same elevator train. So wow.
Wow, another.
Yes, Soul Scorcher. It is a very busted ability. Like it has the ability to ruin you, but so does basically everything else in this game. So that's why we have 2 leaderboards separated by it. Only until recently did we actually see runs that were faster than those Garuda runs that didn't have a Garuda, in pretty wild ways. So
yeah, at the moment, if I remember correctly, the there's a warp trap on Kaine's side.
Got so lucky.
That was
Just
lucky.
pop right next to the elevator. So if he hadn't popped next to that elevator, his Kune and another elevator in the room.
Oh, this is a train. Well, Kaine got a bit of lucky with the train.
I mean, we're gonna
with a warp trap.
Is that Hex is gonna have a lot of the same luck here. Now he could hit that warp trap, but warp traps are always randomized. You won't know where it happens. Like even if they did the exact same thing on the floor, it's gonna send him somewhere completely different. They don't follow the same randomization rule as everything else does.
Correct. And there's a Kraken on Hextree's side. He has a bit of a pincer going on.
Yeah, Hextree is caught between the two and using the easiest math in the tower. An Olim is an item that when thrown at a monster will send them out of the tower, thereby erasing them from battle. So it will work on every single monster. So it's an automatic get out of jail card. So we save those for Krakens in most cases.
Yeah.
And thus we call it the easiest math in the tower.
Hex has to
crazy though. Like even Hextree's on a crazy pace for a race. Like 22 minutes at 4:15 is pretty insane. And like he's gonna jump up real quick too, because he's gonna find 3 elevators in a row after this too.
Ooh. This is in a bit of a bind.
Kaine using that Olim on a Viper. So Vipers are kind of nasty. Again, more water monsters. They do a lot of damage too. They do about 30 damage a hit probably to Kaine right now. And their most obnoxious thing they do is they drop your attack power permanently unless you find an herb to heal it. So they're pretty obnoxious, to say the least.
Yeah. Hex having to use the
Oh,
He used
that's
the
a
egg bombs and
bad
loses
time.
Q&A. Yeah, that was a really, really tough situation with the resources he had. He basically only had the egg bombs to get out of that one. So
Yeah,
yeah,
when you're getting harassed by a lot of water monsters like these new elves, it can be a bad spot. And like as much
yeah,
as they're in seeded towers, once they start going in different directions at all, their whole seeds are going to change. And you're
yeah.
going to notice a little bit of difference here now for Hex Tree. And this is the thing that's just is how it's going to be with the randomizer and how it sets things up. Because he doesn't have Kune, some monsters
But
and stuff are going to change about where they spawn. Oh
but
no, he.
luckily he had the restore scroll. So I
Oh, I
actually
didn't
didn't
even see
notice.
that.
Yeah, I didn't also notice that he picked
Never
it up. But
mind.
yeah, yeah,
Commentators missed that one.
yeah. That's on us. So yeah, restore scroll definitely a good item to have with you. You can restore your fallen familiar with it. So
Oh,
yeah.
Kane finds.
Go
Wait,
up
they're
traps.
both in a room with a go up trap and an
Go up
elevator.
traps. So many go up traps. I love it. I just go up traps are one of my favorite things in this game.
They're a lot of fun.
Like for better or for worse, they're always fun. So
Kane demonstrated that you are able to pick up enemy monsters. You have about a 67% chance to pick up a monster if it can be picked up, and that means that you can carry it around until you either get hit or you toss it. So it's a really effective strategy for trying to get monsters out of your way, but it can also backfire because if you don't grab it, it's gonna jump out of your arms and punch you in the face. There are 40 floors in this tower, Ghost Wizard. So Kane is on an absolutely madman pace right now.
this is exceptional pace. Very good pace for both runners. That can be said.
Yeah, like in a race setting, this is just insane. Oh,
Same
and
luck.
they got the same luck.
Hex got the same luck with the warp trap.
Absolutely crazy.
Might have been the same tile too, which is pretty strange. But maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was just my imagination.
Wow.
Okay, Kane having to face the bind, but luckily no paralysis there. That could have been deadly.
So there is a chance that on this floor, Kane's going to run to the last picket of the run. Pickets of those green monsters that chase you around and steal your items. On this floor in the storyline, it would have a water medallion. We're not going to see that because we're not playing the normal game, like in that sense. They're not doing any of the actual narrative stuff, so it's not going to be an unlocked feature. But you might see one lonesome picket running around this floor.
Yeah.
And right now, Hextree is dealing with the obnoxious unicorns, and it works on
Ooh.
him.
Does
So
he have any
blindness,
herbs?
probably not. I would be surprised if he kept them. Blindness is pretty annoying because it will make monsters walk in a straight line until they hit something and they'll attack it, or if it's a wall, they'll turn right, and they'll just keep walking in circles until it wears off, and it lasts a while. And if it's your familiar, you can't command it anymore until it's done.
Luckily, Hex got out of that one, so
It didn't last very long, thankfully.
yeah.
So if that unicorn casts blindness on him, it does. It's this game when it does things to Ko, it really likes to mess with you pretty hard because it doesn't like in other RPGs. You'll get like darkness and it drops your accuracy or something. In this game, it blinds you. The entire screen goes black and you can't see anything until you have enough turns go by that it wears off.
Yeah,
It's pretty rude.
It's the best blind ever.
So this game is already very hard, and that's not the thing you need in any world.
Yeah. For anyone who runs this game, like, there's not a person in this world who says this game is easy.
No.
Because it isn't. And Kaine finding crazy balls. Not too long ago, he found another fireball, and now he found the acid rain.
Oh no, takes an unfortunate hit from that zoom. He's gonna take 2 hits from it. Oh, that's a dangerous spot. Don't miss. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Whew.
I would have probably AI1'd Q&A there and taken a step back. Probably, yeah, that hit from Q&A would have been enough to down the zoo, I think. But yeah, didn't miss, so
I agree with you
all
there,
good.
Kitten Mittens. Like the things that we're doing now with these familiars is pretty wild, and Kaine is coming into a bad position.
Okay, this could
Oh,
be
if
bad.
we look back over at Hex's screen here real quick, you're gonna see that he is darkness. This is blind. This is what it is in this game for your character. It's very friendly. Kaine's gonna burn a handful of resources here, I'm assuming, because this could be his demise if he doesn't. Oh,
That
and
is correct.
snowmen on both sides. Oh no,
Oh,
this might be it for
paralyzed
Kaine.
coal. This, you never know how long it will last. This could be
Yeah, it can
bad.
last from anywhere from 1 to 52 turns,
There
is where the
goes
record is.
QA. All
Oh
right.
boy, now he's got... The thing is, he's in a bad spot if he moves anywhere or does anything.
Yeah.
This is the best idea, and I think he's going to take a turn and then use that acid rainbow.
Acid rain.
In the hallways, it'll hit 1 tile all around you, so the 8 tiles around you. Or if you're in a room, it'll hit everything in that room with you.
Yeah.
Oh, that was unfortunate for Kaine. This is the... Oh boy. The floors that Kaine is on right now, I refer to as the second round of water floors, and it's the nightmare mode. Because you have snowmen and mandaras, who are by far some of the worst you're going to run into in the tower.
Yeah.
They hit like trucks. Kaine using his Palumpa to get between him and that Viper in case he gets pincered, I think is a pretty solid strategy.
Yeah.
Oh, nice! And because I hadn't aggroed him yet, that Viper's just going to turn around because it can't get past the Palumpa.
Yeah.
That is some nice AI manipulation there from Hextree.
Very good play, and
this
very
is
bad room for Kaine. The monsters are asleep, but Kaine decided to use Holy Bell right away, and
yeah.
As you can see,
3 of them woke up.
It had to be done. Yeah. So now it's just hoping that he gets an opening, so he can exit through this room. So Holy Bell makes the room so that enemies cannot enter the room where the Holy Bell is used. And if the monsters are inside the room, they have to exit the room. But if they decide to be aggressive, they will stay at the doorways, and at the worst case, they don't let you leave. So you may have to burn some resources to get rid of the monsters at the doorways.
Yeah, and oh man, I'm just watching Kaine's screen here as he was coming into this next room. He's opting to use an egg bomb to get away because there's a sleeping mana wave and a snowman in the next room.
Yeah.
So this is the 3rd time we're actually seeing mana waves in the tower. The first time you find them are on those early water floors. The second round is you'll see them in like around 16 to 19. And they get the elevators in there.
Mm-hmm. That's why.
Yes, oh no! And the snowman wakes up. Right when he walks in.
Yeah. See if he can go around. It's a long trip, but there's someone coming. There's a slam trap.
This is okay though because
yeah,
he's at a higher elevation, so he can skip around him. Oh man,
that was very good movement.
Nicely played, Kaine. Nicely played.
Yeah.
And
That is right.
Kid Mittens,
stupid.
I would knowing Hextree, I would imagine that he's aware of those AI patterns. We've been doing a lot of play with AI manipulation in the last recent months, and that's been kind of one of the new things, is learning about that monsters actually don't grab onto you very easily. they are kind of blind in a lot of ways. If you're in a hallway, you only have about 2 tiles. If you're 2 tiles away from them, they really can't see you in most of these cases.
That's correct.
And
yeah.
so, since that Palumpa was in the way, that Viper couldn't get to him to get into a fight, so it's just gonna bump into it like a wall and just turn away. Oh man, Kaine just getting bullied here.
Yeah. Kaine has reached floor 30, and now the going gets really tough. So, if for example, if this killer hits him, he's probably dead. Well, he has the ice shield, but still, killers crit very easily. So those crits can be.
The abomination creature that is the killer that just has 2 giant axes for arms.
Yeah.
It's like something that was made by like a 5th grader or something. Is like their favorite monster. Like it's got axe arms and gun face.
Yeah.
Yep.
Kinda love that design.
It's called a killer. So we see here, Hextree is making his way up through the wind floors here, fighting off Azul, using the AI 1 manipulation, which is a way to do some AI strats to drop Kune down to standby, and to move him around so that he can manipulate turn order and get extra hits in. And we see that Kaine on his side was just talking to Beldo, who was telling you all about how, spoiler alert, he's like I think he admits to killing your dad at this point, and tells you to come find him at the top of the tower. Oh boy. Kaine steps on a frog trap, and I hope he's gonna
probably has enough time. Yeah, should have enough time to wear it off. Yeah.
I wouldn't count Kaine out for getting authority right now, Mr. Doom. Kaine is elevator luck.
Yeah, there we go. That's 33. So one thing everyone should know: these runners cannot watch each other's screens.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, Hex doesn't know that Kaine is on a very good pace, on a very good pace, and on floor 33 at the moment. Hextree doesn't know that, so you cannot adjust your play by knowing where the other player is. So sometimes you might be thinking like Hextree should be running faster or like that, but he doesn't know that Kaine is on floor 33 at the moment.
Yeah, like in our oh boy. So now we have some more. Kaine is making a couple of, I think is a step, but maybe he's just trying to use a different item. So these are dragons. These are kind of like these things are very overpowered. They're fire monsters, and they have a pretty obscene high amount of attack power and health. They will punch Kaine even with an ice shield for probably about 55 to 60 damage. So you're going to see him avoid those things pretty handily.
Answering to Soul Soldier there, probably at this point, if Kaine has I didn't check his inventory, but if he has some eggs in his inventory, he will probably use them as an egg bomb and throw them at an enemy to dispatch them. That's probably the way to do at this point.
Knowing Kaine's general playstyle, I would assume he's not going to stop to hatch that egg. Seeing the pace he's on, he's just going to go for it.
Yeah.
But we did see our first episode of glacier curling. Glaciers can have the longest sight, I think, of any monster in this game. They can shoot you outside of rooms with that little glacier rock. And they're the only monster that can do that will actually interact with you when you're in a room and they're not. I think just over the last weekend, a week ago, we had a record set for how many tiles one of those things sent you. I think it was 36 tiles.
Something like that.
Yeah. It was. Glaciers are rude, and very few people like them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Sand Knight
that was that giant monster room.
Yeah, that was the giant monster room where Sand Knight got, and at the same moment he stepped on the elevator tile. the glacier shot the curling rock, and that set the record. And Sand Knight, while he won the match, that was the end of that run. He died on that floor, if I'm not mistaken. I think it is.
So I want to take a look over here at Hextree for just a second and point out something he just did there. There's a trick you can do when you hold your familiar or hold a monster and you use a spell ball or something. It will displace your monster into a tile in front of you. And he did that when he used a spell ball on that zoo to try to save his Kune from taking a hit. I think unfortunately right now he's in a bit of a bind. I think he's going to use that acid rain ball. Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't enough to get him away from that snowman, but it was a solid play nonetheless.
Yeah.
And Kaine trying to get past to the elevator just ahead of him right there.
Oh, this.
Oh
He
man!
finds the elevator. Yeah, there it is. So yeah, getting to
Past that tyrant.
35 sub 40 minutes. This is crazy. This is just crazy pace right now. So
and Hextree gets the go up trap.
the thing is, there is so much time that if Kaine would happen to fall here somewhere, it is possible for Hextree, with the time given, it is possible to reach these floors. But this could be the race to the top. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah,
I don't want to jinx it. I'm just saying.
Oh, I know, right? Right now, oh man, a small floor is not really what Kaine wants to see right now. Oh, he's gonna go for that seed, see what it is, finds the wind seed, and gets on that elevator. Wind seeds are great because they can turn a monster by throwing it at them into a wind type. So all these fire monsters and glaciers can get turned into a wind monster, and so you can use your fireballs on them to do double damage to them.
Now
oh my god, he's finding an elevator train in the high 30s. Oh no.
This is crazy. At the same time, on the Hextree side, he doesn't have the Holy Bell in this room like Kaine had, but he took out the volcano. I was thinking that he probably produces lava rock, but no, he decided not to do that. Let's see how it goes. While Kaine is basically beating the tower at this point.
Oh, why did he free him? Okay, so he's using a Hextree is using a glitch, a minor glitch that you can do by if you hold your monster and send them home, while you're holding them, it will basically it'll give you an invulnerable tile.
Yes, that is correct, and this is gonna take some time, but ultimately Hextree is gonna survive this floor through an earthquake, which will occur.
Which is a pretty rare thing to be able to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's gonna take a while because you have to wait a lot of turns for this to happen.
Yeah, I have used this strat once, and I think it took something like 10 minutes to get to the next floor.
Which is going to put him at a disadvantage here because he probably doesn't really think that Kaine could be almost on floor 40.
Yes.
But this is the best strategy he could do right now with the tools he had. Yeah. Like he didn't have that holy bell, because if he did, this would be an easy choice.
Yeah.
Oh, Kaine seeing the elevator goes to 39.
Oh, this is crazy.
Kaine has that shot for 40, and at this point, for Hextree to win, he is gonna have to get to 40. Oh my god, Kaine is in a terrible spot.
Does he have a holy bell or a acid? No,
I think he has an egg, but oh, please pop out next to him. Attacks the wrong monster, takes a hit.
Oh, this.
I think this might be the end of Kaine. Oh no.
Oh, past the
It's not
blaze
going to be
ball.
enough. It's not going to kill him.
But yeah, that's right, because the so
Dead
came down.
on
Oh,
39 in the elevator room.
amazing
So
run by Kaine.
you hate to see it, but that was still beautiful.
Right, so now we will wait for the earthquake. It's gonna take some time, but it's coming. First of all, these monsters that are whacking Hex Tree right now, they will run out of MP at one point. And depending on how new monsters...
Okay, let me go ahead and I'm going to switch this audio over to our Hex Tree.
Yeah, so now more monsters may come up, and as there are monsters on screen, skipping the turns is actually slower. But if these monsters run out of MP and for some strange reasons no other monsters come up, then you can actually skip the turns pretty quickly. So what Hex is currently doing, he's holding down circle and triangle buttons to skip the turns, and but this can take a long time. But this is a pretty new trick. I think it is pretty new trick.
It's been known for a while, but you don't really see people doing it in a race because of how long it's going to take.
Yeah. The Tamna fruit version is the new version of the trick. That like you hold the monster, you lift your familiar and feed the Tamna fruit, then you get the tile immunity, I think.
Yeah, like...
Yeah, Hex Tree has to beat the tower at this point to win. And first of all, he has to get through this situation here. And it's still gonna take some time. I can imagine the frustration with those Mandaras and that one poor snowman there. It's a bit of strange that no other monsters have shown up. It's just these these guys here. Yeah.
It might be a low monster spawn floor.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough for Hex even when he gets out of this.
Yeah,
he does have enough time. Yep.
If he gets there, all the monsters are running out of MP.
Yeah, that's gonna speed things up a little bit unless new monsters show up. Let's see how it goes. That one Mandara probably used. All right, now they're running out of MP, so.
This is what he wants to see, so that the turns will go quicker because they'll stop attacking.
Yes, so if no more monsters show up in this room, then it's actually gonna get the earthquake pretty quick. But there's one, but he just keeps walking, so this is actually pretty quick at this point.
Yeah, this so is stack up monsters until the room falls apart.
Yeah. So these monsters don't realize that there's actually they could go around. But they rather enjoy this little carousel there. Yeah, they're having a rave. And now Naplast joins the party and falls asleep right away. Alright, the more the merrier.
Isn't this... And we got a little dance party going. Oh, one of them made it over.
Unfortunately, this one Naplast finds the way, and now now it's gonna now it's gonna slow down a little bit.
But the good thing is that this Naplast might fall asleep soonish, and then we'll get to this a little quicker. This is so silly.
Yeah, the tile immunity hasn't been used in this tournament before at all.
You know, I almost never
think,
see anyone really use it because of
yeah,
this right here.
yeah. But of course, well, Hex didn't have any other way out of this situation, but also he doesn't know where Kaine is at the moment. So this definitely is the best.
And he's
Best
gonna hit an
strategy, probably.
elevator. He's gonna hit 2 elevator trains as well, just like Kaine did. So it's absolutely possible he can come back and win this.
Yeah.
He has a huge advantage that he has Kune still. He hasn't lost his familiar. So
All right.
he still has a Scarlet Wand, so he can get through this. Confused Manoeva and
So now, first we have a party, and then we have a fight in the party. So. Oh, he actually defeated one of the one of the Mandaras that had run out of MP, and now there's one more whacker in the party. Yeah, so this actually slows down this process a bit more. Now the Naplas takes a nap, but he will soon wake up.
Well, just having Kune there could actually change how the monsters actually respond in. And this is a thing that will happen even if they're seated. When the game is spawning in the floor, it checks for Kune, and it can change monster placement if it can't find Kune. So since he'll have if he has his Kune still there, it could change how that room is set up. And I think that just having Kune alone is going to be enough to get him through that room. Because that's at least a second target for that maximum to swipe at.
Correct, and he also might find a Holy Bell on his way. So you never know what the situation is.
Hextree is trying to use his camera to zoom in to try to cut down some of the lag from the monsters so they can get through this a little bit quicker.
Yeah. Or he just wants to participate in the rave, so yeah, it's probably the lag thing. When this snowman runs out of MP, then there's no way for the enemies to attack. So then the rest is gonna go pretty quick. But you can see that this is when you have absolutely nothing else to do. This is your strategy, but it's gonna take something like 10 minutes to get through this. Possibly even more.
Yeah, this is the birth of a monster den for someone else, right?
Do it yourself, yeah.
And so this snowman has to attack literally 80 times because each attack drains 1 MP and they have about 80 MP when naturally, so.
Yeah. Now, once this snowman has done swinging, he has successfully built himself a fort, and no more attacking is possible after that. And
here we go.
Here we go. Now the earthquake is gonna come pretty quick.
Ring around the rosy.
So yeah, he actually lost like a couple of minutes because the confused Maneva defeated the Mandara there. He actually lost some precious time because he had to wait for that new snowman to run out of MP. But yeah.
I hope you are happy, chat. You're getting to see some weird tech that we don't normally get to see in these races.
Yeah, this is definitely a rare.
It's a bummer
that's
he wasn't
monster
able to
party.
grab that egg, though.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Good old tile immunity.
Yeah. It won't be long now.
Everybody get up and run in circles. Join the monster party.
Let's see if we can get the room filled before.
Right. Oh, we got another. There was one snowman who wasn't over here yet. Wow.
More folk coming in.
Hey, we got more coming in.
It's more than half the
Is this
room.
earthquake ever gonna get here?
Yeah. It seems like it's gonna take longer than usual, but no, it's actually a fixed number of turns. But it just took forever. If you're in a corridor and you only have like one monster on other side and one on other side, also not this many tiles to spawn the monsters, it's gonna go a lot quicker. But this is yeah, we should
Dance
probably
party on
make,
floor 28.
yeah. This is Azure Dreams, people.
He's been doing this for about 12 minutes right now
12
because of
minutes
the
right now.
the enemies killing each other.
Yeah.
Yes, absurd dreams is the proper thing here.
To see the room on the map, it's like completely red. And there we go, the earthquake has started.
Excellent.
We just have to wait a little bit longer. It's a little time for the earthquake to advance, but
Now it has to advance to the room he's in.
yeah. And when I played this game casually, I had no idea that there's such thing as an earthquake in this game.
Oh, I found out the earthquake with the water medallion picket. I've had that happen before. Can't find that picket. Won't drop that water medallion.
Oh yeah.
Wow. That's a very red room.
It is, yeah. Would be a pretty bad.
I think because
All
of
right,
the
now it
unfortunate of being stuck in this room with God. Kaine, he's only gonna have 4.5. He's only gonna have 4 minutes to get up to floor 40.
Yeah.
4 minutes for 12 floors. Let's get some hype.
Yeah. All right. Here we go. And then you spawn next to a snowman without a Q.
Oh, he doesn't take the right direction for the elevator too.
Yeah. Let's see how it goes.
We know where that elevator is, and he needs to go basically the opposite way he's going right now.
Yeah. So to recap for everyone who just joined in during that during that period of time what just happened. So what happened there is that when you hold up your what happened? Hex was in a situation that he would have died unless he used this tile immunity trick. So you hold up your familiar and then you release the familiar, and when you do that, the tile you're currently on, you become invincible. So no monsters can attack you, or they can try, as you just saw, they can try to attack you, but you won't take any damage. So you have to wait for quite a lot of time for all the monsters to run out of MP, and even then you have to wait for the amount of turns. And now Hextree is in a bind because he can't use Ice Rock because of the snowman who can beat the Ice Rock with one hit. Yeah.
Snowmen have an ability to break obstacles, so they can just smash your Ice Rock ball in one hit, which is a bad time, which is part of the reason why I hate them so much.
Yeah.
Hopes for a good monster. It's a bloom. It doesn't get them. Oh boy. And I think this is the end of Hextree, unfortunately.
This is probably end of Hextree, yeah.
I don't think he can get rid of both of them because he can't Ice Rock Ball because he'll get hit still.
And then the acid train has been used.
And he doesn't have kunai out, so he can't tile glitch again.
We need some miss here.
Yeah, GG
GG.
GG.
So, yeah. I'll let the runners know.
That's gonna be game 1 for Kaine. Man, Hextree put up a heck of a fight. Let's give him some love and hype in this chat here. He did an excellent job.
Yeah, before the runner started, we said that there will be 2 top players facing each other, and that's exactly what you saw right now. That was very good game from both players. There's no way around that.
Oh my, that is some interesting audio.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna swap over.
I was thinking if you get the same audio, but
I'm gonna pop over here to Kaine's for a moment while Hextree gets his thing. Well, we can definitely say that this morning we got to see a tile glitch trick actually go off.
I was waiting for it actually.
Yeah, like I always hear everyone talking about it. Like I've never done it because I've never really seen a time where I've been just like, I really need to do this. But like, he saw how much time he had, and he's like, no, I can come back from this. And he had a chance. There was a shot. Unfortunately, some of the monster AI didn't work in his favor, but it was still an excellent play.
Yeah.
So now our runners are getting their second seed set up, and then we will be off to the races once again.
Yep, let's see if this goes to game 3.
Kaine is going to name himself Pain. Excellent. I like seeing it. And the Hextree's seed is good. Let's see if this seed is as pleasant as the last one was with dumping items on them.
Yeah.
Had to get that one last troll in. Gene, can I have you do the countdown for them and let me take a dip off here for just a quick second?
Yes.
I'll be back in just a minute.
All right, no worries at all. So we will soon initiate a countdown, and the runners will be getting ready to get beat up again. Right, so in a moment our runners will be off. Yeah, the what we just saw, like reaching 39 floors in that time, that's just amazing. But also, Hextree is a very good player, and there's always, even though the tower is seated, and the floor layouts are they're in principle they are the same. There's still a lot of randomness in this game. So we do use our lovely community member programmer has made a program we call the randomizer, which actually makes these players go to the same tower layout with the same monsters, with the same traps. But there's still a lot of randomness to it. Like another one steps on a trap and another one doesn't, and one finds an item, another one doesn't, and another one hatches the egg, and there's a Garuda, and there's still a lot of things that can happen. So even though during the next match we saw, in the end, we saw a huge floor difference between Kaine and Hex. Kaine got to 39, Hex got to 29. But doesn't mean that Kaine is the clear victor here. So it's just that Hex got bullied pretty bad. So let's see how this round goes. What Hex traded there and getting that far in that time, that was just amazing.
I come back and I see Kaine accidentally shoot a fireball charge into a staircase. Yikes.
Ooh.
Menuing too fast sometimes can be your greatest enemy.
Yes. I was just I was looking at exercise, and I didn't notice that. I always been waiting to do that myself, but it still hasn't happened. But it will.
So there's like, you're gonna kind of go through phases of leveling up, Ghost Wizard. Like you're gonna, like early on they're gonna be leveling up a little bit because they're just kind of grinding out items. But like you're not really gonna see them ever really grind for experience. Sometimes you'll see it on like floor 10. Is kind of a common one because it's a pretty safe floor, all things considered. But they're not really gonna just take time just to grind out monsters. The only monster level they really want is that level 2. Like that's the only time you're gonna see them hunting down a troll to get that level.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know how strict or sharp players usually are with their level count. But when I, for example, when I play this game, I never, like after I reach level 3, I never even check what my level is. Of course, it matters, but it's just something I don't care too much about personally.
There's going to be kind of certain times where you're just going to get some free levels because of specifically wind monsters are what you're going to be farming on. And like when you get to Garudas, they go down pretty easily and they give a lot of experience. Unicorns are the same way around floor 20. I said floor 10 a moment ago because of bow trolls. Trolls in general, every time you fight them, just give a lot of experience.
Yeah, definitely. You generally want to see a lot of trolls.
We'll summon you in about 17 floors, Utopic Unicorn. Once we get up there, then that's when we'll summon you.
All right, there's
You're just a few minutes early, but welcome.
Kaine found a flame ball in a rather peculiar room. You rarely see rooms that are dead end, but there are dead end rooms in this game, and those can be really bad if you find a dead end. Yeah, if you find a dead end room and then you have a train of monsters coming at you, like there's no way out. You have to fight. So
yeah, there's nothing worse than like trailing monsters behind you and then suddenly going, "Oh, hey guys, what's up?"
Yeah.
Funny to see you all here today.
Most of the time you just want to, after these first 5 floors, you just want to run away from all the monsters or avoid fighting. But
So
luckily those dead end rooms are pretty rare. They are not that common.
So just as a refresher for if we have anyone here that is just joining us, since we're at the start of this race, we are doing a Rock Me to the Top style race for Azure Dreams. This is a tournament. We are doing a best of 3 race of who can get to the highest floor without dying first in an hour. And we're going to be doing it in a seated tower variant where both players have the same tower. So that's pretty cool, because normally you can't do that because this game is too random. So for those that aren't here, welcome and enjoy the show.
Yes, the randomness can make this game a little bit frustrating at times, but if you start playing this like most of us do, we don't really get mad at the tower. The tower will get you, and that's that. So we just try to, if we get an unfortunate death, we just try to laugh it off.
Hey Gene, you said there's other people that play this game. Do you know somewhere where we can meet other people that play this game?
Oh, that's right. Join the Discord, people.
The Discord, you mean this link that I posted in the chat right now?
Oh, that's probably it.
Awesome.
So
Yes, if you're interested in playing this game or watching some shows or talking about this game or whatever, this is a Discord for everyone that's a fan of this game. We welcome everyone. We have all kinds of resources if you want to play it. We have things that'll show you for stream times, so you'll know when people are playing. It's a good time all around.
Definitely.
And so Kaine once again zipping up here to floor. Oh, he's on floor 7 already.
Oh, that's right.
I look away for a second to link the Discord, and suddenly he's on floor 7.
Yeah, he's super fast.
This is a little more risky though, because this time he's just rocking a copper sword. But Kaine's gonna throw all of his eggs in that double spell ball room.
Double water and blaze.
Water balls are blaze are pretty good. Water ball is less good because what it does is it covers your monster in a water barrier. So basically, wow, it's a lot of blooms. What it's going to basically do is it can protect a fire monster from water enemies, and that's basically all it's going to do.
So unfortunately, a while ago, Hextree stepped on a paralysis trap, and there goes Kaine. So it's definitely not going to be easy. But let's hope he finds Restore Scroll or a good egg.
Yeah, maybe he'll find a clown. That'd be a nice find.
Yeah.
Yeah, this seed's a little rougher than the last one.
Yeah.
This is the difference, like one seed to the next, how much it can vary. This game is pretty mean. We are fortunate to see a pretty intense wild seed, but now we're seeing what Azure Dreams does best. Trying to ruin your day.
Yeah. We already talked about during the last run about the about having to hit these water monsters with a copper sword, and that's what you're seeing on on at least Kaine has the Hextree has equipped the Blizzard sword, but still without Scarlet Wand, this tower is a pain.
Yeah, man, that's a lot of blooms. That's a lot of blooms. They said at almost 40 health at this point is a pretty insane amount of HP.
Kaine has 1 HP now, uses a medicinal herb on Kaine.
The worst part about blooms is they give you... I've done this. I've fought a bloom at level 1, and it didn't even level me up. A troll will level you up to level 2 always. A bloom will not. So, blooms are terrible. There's never a situation where you really want to fight blooms, because they give you garbage experience, they waste too much resources, and they're obnoxious.
Now it's also probably at this situation, which is looking pretty grim. Oh, those blooms on Hextree's side as well, 3.
Oh, there's 3 and 1 ahead of him too.
So Kane got to this floor first, I reckon.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure he did. Yeah. So now that this is looking pretty grim, it's good to keep this in mind that if they happen to both players happen to fall on this floor, then actually Kane wins because he got to this floor first. So yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if Hextree steps back into that room so he can go out the other exit and only take the 1 hit. Yep, that's what he's gonna do.
Yeah.
Because he was just gonna get pincered over there with those blooms, and this way he has a chance to get away.
And there's a Scarlet Wand on
Oh,
Kane's
and
side.
Kane
Kane
is
finds.
saved.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna put Kane in a significantly stronger position.
Yeah.
Man, 2 seeds of Scarlet Wands in the first 10 floors. Oh no!
This is bad.
Oh no!
Oh,
Not like this, Hextree. Not like this.
oh. I can
Yeah,
feel.
fast can get you dead very
Yeah,
fast.
I can feel Hex3 at this point. He's such a good player, and our does
Just,
this.
the problem is he's going to use that medicinal herb. He's going to
Hmm.
immediately take 2 hits, and these hit him for 10 damage before. Okay, so 8/8. He can take
Yeah.
another hit.
Yeah. He's still good.
1 more hit. He needs that elevator. He needs to go left.
He needs to go left. Yeah. Kane's still also on the same floor.
Yeah, like he's not even out of this yet. They're both in this
Yeah.
bloom nightmare. Oh, no!
Oh no!
The slam
No.
trap death.
Not like
Oh
this.
no!
Oh,
Oh, that is the
this was
saddest way to go.
definitely.
Well, unfortunately, that means that Kane is gonna get this race. That is the trolliest of trolls that I have ever seen.
This is This was something. Wow. Yeah. Kane wins this this match. We'll ask the runners if they are up for a friendly third, but Kane moves on. Hex3 unfortunately has to.
Yeah, they're both complaining about the blooms in the Discord.
Yeah. I've never seen that many blooms at the same time. That's for sure.
All right, we're gonna do a friendly third.
Yes. All right, folks. The show's not over yet. The runners are getting ready for friendly third.
I can't believe that ended on a slam trap.
Yeah, that's first way to go.
Okay, so wow. Oh man.
I'm gonna step out for a little while. I'll be back real quick.
Sure. So we'll be getting going for our friendly third in just a moment here. Feels bad when you get slam dunked. Feels real bad. Exactly, Wildfire. This is our format for these Rock Me to the Top style tournaments we do. They're one shot for glory for each round. And this time around, since we're doing it in the randomizer now, we are able to create seeded towers so they can do the vanilla game, but just with both having the same floor layouts. Let's see, 0816. Yep. God, I can't believe. So, like, we in the community, we really try to like impress upon that like these while we do these kind of like fun competitive races, where we do it with the feeling that it's us against this tower because this game is pretty mean. We
Yeah,
do we do like a lot of like Sunday games together where we all get on comms and talk, and like there's never ill will to each other or anything. Like we're here for fun and for glory. You'll hear some salt sometimes because this game can make you feel a little salty, but
definitely.
it's never like ill will towards our other players.
Yeah, definitely so.
And if you join the Discord, we do like a lot of people in the community have like races randomly when there's not tournaments going, when we're a little less busy, and we will get on voice chat and talk with each other while we race each other.
Right, there'll be countdown quick and countdown in a minute, and the runners are soon off.
Oh yeah, so ZP Dolly, there is a randomizer. There's a whole website for it and anything. It's created by our madman scientist, the programmer. He has been doing some amazing work for this community. There's all kinds of features. I'm going to go ahead and drop a link in the chat here so that you all can see this website.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. Without him, we couldn't be playing this game the way we do now. Because if you do the vanilla version, it's definitely it goes absolutely bonkers because both players get their own towers that way, and it can be fun, but it's definitely more unfair than this way of playing where both the players are playing the same seed. So.
Yeah, I mean, I love still doing any percent races with people, which is just kind of like basically the same thing, but we're both getting different towers. Those are still fun. I do those
Definitely.
a lot.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Kaine praying for a dark sword.
Yeah. I think one of the best things about this game is that some of these items you're gonna find in the tower are very rare to find, and it's just something about the replayability about this game. It's just that every now and then you find like a super rare item on the ground, and it's just great every time it happens. Some of those items are very powerful too. You can find an item called rose fruit, which you can throw at any enemy, which turns it into an egg, and you can get that monster. So actually finding a rose fruit on the ground is actually a very good thing if you can find one, but it's very rare. And then there's a monster called Barong, which you can find on floors 16, 26, and 36. Barong is an enemy where you can take any of your items and feed that item to that Barong, and Barong will spit out a new item, and and the probability of each item that way is the same for each item. So you can actually you have a better chance of finding these rare items from Barongs. But we haven't seen a Barong in this run. At least I didn't notice a Barong.
No, I didn't. Well, they got out of 416 so fast because they were in the elevator room with it when they spawned in last scene they're on. I just want to say Circa is bad. There is a mode that you can do there is a thing you can do called the glitched entry, which is a way that you can pop into the tower behind Kune, and you can just go with no monster. Oh, that's a bad floor too.
Yeah, that's a
Oh,
very rare.
and they are linked up, same time, same elevator. There we go. Floor 3 together at the
That
same
was
time.
frame by frame. Yeah.
And so I'm going to post this one more time here right now. This here in the in that Twitch chat is the Discord for this community. We're a big, busy community doing all kinds of stuff, racing, talking, playing with rando. If you want to watch some games, talk about this game, post some memes, come join us and have a good time. All are welcome, casual, speedrunner. There's even a Game Boy Color game if that's your jam too.
Yeah, that's a whole different game altogether in the Game Boy Color version, and there are on the Discord there are people who play that as well. So, and that's a good game. That's a good game. It's slightly different than this one, but definitely worth playing.
I unfortunately didn't grow up with the Game Boy Color one. I had a friend that had it, but I personally didn't. So I didn't really get to spend the time with it that I've spent with this game. But
yeah, it's and to actually find the physical version, it's a pretty uncommon game, especially in Europe. So I
yeah.
actually just acquired, even though I'm a collector and I have a lot of games, I just acquired a copy of the Game Boy Color version just like a couple of months ago. So yeah, it's
Nice.
really rare find. Yeah. But yeah, without the box or the manual. If you want the box and the manual, you have to pay like
That's
crazy amounts. Yeah.
yeah, complete in box things. Or other than PlayStation games, I'm just like, nope, can't do that. PlayStation stuff's not bad. Like, I mean, Azure Dreams, you're typically going to find a complete in box version. This game is unfortunately not a terribly cheap game right now.
Yeah. No.
I think this one floats between $40 and $50 right now. So,
Yeah.
but hey, you
yeah.
know, I play this a heck of a lot more than I do modern games, so I think it's definitely a price worth paying.
It's definitely worth it if you think about the hours spent playing this game. Yeah, the European version is around 40. That being said, I haven't seen one come up in a long time, and I have noticed that some of the prices have gone up recently, especially for PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 games. So it could be 50 euros as well in Europe at this point. I'm not sure. Yeah. But it's definitely worth it.
Oh, Hextree finding that money wand.
Yep.
So money wand is not going to give you any elemental advantage, but what it will do is give you just increased elemental damage like every other one. So it will be better than a sword, regardless.
Yep. That's
this
right.
is a best 2 out of 3 race, but right now, Kaine won the first 2 races, so this is a friendly third right now.
Yeah, the money wand in this well, the money wand is not it's worth a lot of money if you play it casually, right?
I think it sells okay.
Yeah.
I don't think it's terribly ideal. Oh, Kaine stepped on a blinder that was next to the money wand.
Yeah. So, but in this game mode, money wand is basically equivalent to a wooden wand. Sometimes, occasionally, changes defeated monsters into coins, but you won't be really needing those coins in this.
Yeah, we have a couple other categories you run in this game. Like, this is basically an any percent mode, what they're doing right now. But they also have, like, a more completionist version of the game. Is called Bookless Percent, which is everything in the game except for filling out your little sister's monster book, which is finding all the eggs of all the monsters, which is extremely difficult to do and takes a long time. And if you want to do that, there is a 100% mode. I think we have one completed run of 100% mode on the leaderboards at about 12 hours. So
yeah. It's by Kaine, if I'm not mistaken.
It is by Kaine. It is by Kaine.
Yeah, it is by Kaine. Yeah, so.
And so both Kaine and Hextree are now on floor 5, getting ready for that floor 6 bump into the water floors. So their peaceful grind up the tower here is going to be coming to an end, very likely, and it's going to be time for some mean monsters. I find it interesting, actually, that Hextree immediately equipped that money wand, and Kaine still hasn't. I think Kaine just left it behind. Well, Jolly Mr. Doom, to have 100% races, we would need more than one person actually running that ever.
Yeah.
Which, if you want to, if you join the Discord, you can try to get people to play that.
Yeah, definitely. And bookless race is possible to do.
Yeah, we do, but we've had bookless races. That's definitely a thing that happens, and the more people that play it, the more people that's interested in it. I did my first bookless a few months ago, and it took me about 7.5 hours. That was a very unoptimized run. I was literally watching videos about how to do a bookless run while I was doing my bookless run. So
okay, that's a way to do it.
I was like, well, I woke up one morning and was just like, I'm gonna go do a bookless run, and I don't really know how to do it. So
I was thinking that after this tournament, I will start getting into the bookless.
It's a good time.
Yeah, it definitely as a category, it's very, very compelling. So yeah, definitely getting into that. So just to recap, so the bookless run is the one where you because this game all you see today is Kaine loses Q&A on floor 5. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I saw his risky play there. So enemy order is weird. When you move, everything moves at the same time, but when you attack, it goes Ko, Monster, and then Kune. Even if Kune is doing a move action. So unfortunately, when you do that and you want Kune to get out of the way, you're gonna have to pick him up and move him out of the way, or he's gonna take that hit.
Yeah, that is.
It's part of the reason why the standby strat, or AI1 strat as we called it, works. Because Kune is in a mode where he doesn't move, he gets to respond to other enemies' movements and gets free attacks in, basically. Not really free attacks, you're just like manipulating the turn order by letting him kind of cheat a little bit. It feels like cheating sometimes.
Yeah, it does. When you don't give any chances for the enemies to attack, it feels like
this game is so mean. I think you should be able to cheat a little bit.
Yeah, that is definitely true. Yeah.
Yes, actually, the Ancient Cave is a good example of what is similar to this game. It's been compared to that a numerous number of times. So right now, Hex is in a good position. He's got Kune, he's got a wand. Kaine is in a rough spot, losing Kune this early.
Yeah, definitely so. Hextree also equipped the leather shield, and the leather shield doesn't have a good defense stat, but it increases your evasion. So if you see monsters missing more than usual on Hextree's side, that can be because he has the leather shield on.
So I want to point out, wow, more elevator chain. I want to point out we actually didn't get to talk about this monster yet because we hadn't even seen a U-boat yet, like doing.
Oh, that's right. They completely.
So U-boats saw a little submarine periscope popping up out of the ground. That's a U-boat. They go underground and they are immune while they're underground, and they can go under enemies and under you and such. And they wait till they have a point to be able to attack you. Oh, and Hextree trying to lure the blooms away with Kune, and they don't fall for the bait. But U-boats are rude because they do a lot of damage, and they have, that's a lot of U-boats. How did I miss that room in the first place?
Kane arrived on this room without Q&A. So
Oh,
the
it changed the monster
yeah,
spawn.
so that is one factor that can change some of the enemy layout, and that's exactly what happened here. Like Kane didn't have Q&A, and this time it was easier for him. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's not always the case, though.
yeah, that's right. And Hex got out of the room, but it was pretty nasty looking room.
It's like, ooh, 3 U-boats in a bloom. Okay.
But yeah, this game has a completely different town building aspect to it. But in this game mode, we only see the tower, which is the basic gameplay of the game. But there's also the whole town building thing going on the side, and,
Yeah,
and that's
town builder, dating sim, monster collecting, ancient dungeon madness. This game was a unique gem of its time because nothing quite did the scope that Azure Dreams did back when this came out.
Yeah, correct. And yeah, those other features are what you embrace if you go for the bookless run, but this mode is just a tower climb.
Who knows, maybe there's going to be a bookless tournament in the future.
No.
Don't quote me for that. Don't at me about that. Don't be like, hey, Horza, where's our bookless tournament?
Yeah, you promised.
It's in our hearts, chat. It's in our hearts. Oh, and Kane is in a position.
Ooh, Kraken hits from a higher elevation.
But he's gonna die. He cannot take a hit right now. If he takes any hit, he's dead.
Yeah, he has to run away.
Because that volcano will one-shot him, and so will that Kraken. He cannot Ulim. He's still probably gonna die right here.
Yeah, this is bad.
8 health. Yeah, see, he's
worst.
Kane, you can't. Oh, he's given up.
Yeah. He can only. Yeah, no miss
floor
there.
12 for Kane.
Kane goes down in floor 12. So
floor 12 is a tough spot because that's where obviously Krakens start spawning. Hextree's in a bit of a bind here because he's running into
too. Yeah.
We got these floors so quick before. We didn't really get to talk about some of these meaner monsters in these floors. Hextree is zigzagging here because of the fact that Griffins like to cast a ranged spell called Rise, and if you stay in line with them, when they're aggro, they are far more likely just to shoot you with it at any point in time. And it does about 20 damage, so you don't want to get hit by that.
It's pretty bad, yeah. For 12, and Hextree has to go to 30 to beat this friendly third.
But he's in a much better spot because he has a familiar coming in here. Even if that Kraken is right there, I think he still has that Olim. So he can just pick up Kune, put it behind him, and then
use the
fucking Olim.
Yeah.
And now he's in a spot to be able to deal with this volcano, though he is a bit under level. Level 6 on floor 12 is pretty low level.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not even going to be able to two-shot it. He's going to... Ooh.
Leather shield.
That is why the leather shield comes in clutch. Fighting a volcano with half health at level 6 on floor 12 is a pretty dangerous thing to be doing. That's an easy choice. Just, nope, we're just going to go right away from that Griffin.
Yeah.
Is he going to fireball it? I hope he uses a fireball. Oh, he's just going to try to... Oh, boy. I was going to say, not like this, Hextree. Oh, he's going to use a really fun strat, one of my favorite things.
Yeah, that's a very...
Oh, God. This literally
something.
could be the end of him right now. He's got to use that. He's got to
Does
use
have
the
an
egg. And he's got to
does-
hope that it doesn't pop into a bad
Yeah.
spot.
Yes, there is a possibility that the monster appears in a spot where we're gonna take a step back, maybe.
If he
No,
jumps
it's gonna
up,
go
if
for
it
it.
pops up, good,
Ooh,
gets it.
that was good.
So
If he
with
would've-
eggs, if they pop around that corner there, they can. If they popped in the diagonal there, you can't hit it diagonals going in the rooms. That would have meant that the egg did nothing and he would have died. Oof. Have you ever experienced that, Gene?
Oh yes, I have, and I didn't. Oh, and
And
there's the
Hex
go
takes the round.
X3 takes the round, and yeah, it has happened to me. I didn't know about it, but yeah. Yeah, we're gonna let the runners know that the round is over, and then we're getting ready for
Let's get them in here for some interviews if they want
interviews.
to do it.
Yeah.
All right, we'll get them some links and we'll have them here in just a second.
Yeah.
Let's see, do that. Here we go there. And there's Hex Tree. And is that a Kaine that I see? Indeed. Oh.
Hello. That was quite a set of seeds.
Indeed. Let me do something. We're getting some extra audio in here. All right. Are you there, Kaine?
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, Kaine, how you feeling?
I was legitimately pissed off at that floor 39. I was so
Yeah,
close.
yeah.
That would have been a PB. Not that it would have mattered really, but I was like, oh man, like that would have been like 10 minutes faster than my fast time.
Yeah, that was a heartbreaker. I was just like, man, he gets an elevator train like going all the way up to floor 39, and
Those
then
elevators
and then,
were like ridiculous, just crazy.
hey, welcome in, Hextree. GG's, man, GG's. Do we have him? Do we have everyone? Testing. Hey, Hextree, welcome in. GG's, man.
Thank you.
These were
crazy
some
matches.
insane scenes to watch, to say the least.
Yeah.
So you didn't get to see it, but Kaine got to floor 39 after some crazy elevator chains in the 30s and spawned to the floor 39 in the elevator room next to a maximum and a sleeping golem in the corner.
Nice.
It was he was like what, like 41, 42 minutes or something, Kaine? Like something.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, we had quite a bit of time left. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, like you were waiting on a couple of there was a crazy couple of elevator chains coming up for you, Hextree, that were gonna like shoot you up the tower. You just had to get into the 30s, and then it was gonna be a lot of an easier run.
So how did Kaine manage that room that I got stuck in?
Kaine
Which
had a
room
holy
did you get
bell.
stuck in?
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the holy bell. Oh yeah, that was.
Oh, nice. Yeah. That was really the only thing that would have worked. I don't think acid rain ball would have helped me.
Yeah, that was a rough spot, and we got to see the earthquake thanks to this.
That's like the worst place to do the return glitch because the Naplasses kept sleeping and everything was getting delayed.
There was also the extra little pet peeve when one of the confused Manivas defeated one of the Mandarus that had already consumed all the MP, so you also had to wait for an extra snowman to do some extra swings. So that was bad, but it was nice to see the trick in a race.
Yeah, it was
And
definitely
so,
amusing to see such a large room full of monsters that wasn't a monster den.
like, it's a lot of red in this room. There's a lot of red in this room. And so Seed 1 was pretty wild. You guys got that Scarlet Wand early. Just like a lot of good items. How does it feel to not get a Sand Knight Seed for a change? Does that feel pretty nice?
Well, we got one. It just waited till that third match.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, I'd say that second seed was pretty bad. The Bloom gang
Oh
was
my
on
gosh,
floor
that
8.
was. I couldn't even like. I was like, what in the? I thought I was gonna die. To be
Yeah,
honest,
you
I was
guys were
like, I don't know how this is gonna work.
you both were on floor 8 for quite a while there, and just getting bullied by just chains of blooms.
You would like think you were getting away, and then suddenly there'd be like 4 coming at you from the other end, and you're like, come on.
Yeah. It was nice to see Kaine you fighting against those, and then you just can see see up in the room that more are just creeping in.
Man, that was the biggest heartbreaker, Hextree, when you had those 4 blooms chasing you. 9 health, walk up, slam trap, 10 damage,
Yeah.
dead. Oh man, that was brutal. That was a brutal way to go.
Yeah.
So, I would just like to was there any moments in this that stood out to you two, like when you were playing, that you wanted to talk about?
I got really confused. I don't know which game it was, but I got blinded, and that bomb trap went off. I'm guessing there was a cyclone that had just walked into the room onto the bomb trap, but I was like, what the hell? What did 28 damage? Like, what's going on?
that was your third seed. That was the third
Okay,
seed.
yeah. Very confused.
Yeah, for me, I feel like I spent that first seed half the time in that return glitch, so I don't even remember what happened in the rest of it. So my
Yeah,
thumbs
that
are
was,
aching.
yeah, that was wild. I haven't actually really got to see much of that in action. Like, it was the only way out of that situation. Like, you didn't really have any other option other than like, well, just got to get rid of this volcano.
My plan was actually, once they all run out of MP, then I'll kind of form a wall of expired monsters and push it gently to the left in order to get that egg. Piece by piece, just move the wall to the left, and yeah, it could have worked.
That would have been really fun to watch.
Oh man,
I want to
I
see
feel like we
that.
missed out on that. I mean, I was just enjoying like the monsters spinning in circles in the room was already pretty amusing. Just like, look at them all dance. I've never seen so many monsters dance in a room.
Yeah, there's definitely a highlight there.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun to watch. As frustrating as it probably was for you, just being like looking at the timer, being like, I got to get somewhere. It's like 52 minutes and they haven't called the match yet. I gotta go.
Yeah, I mean, at that moment, when it got to around 50 minutes, I figured either Kaine is pretty much won, or he died on that one floor, and it's all up to me to doing the earthquake.
Like, if you could have kept going, you were gonna shoot up a bunch of floors because the elevators were incredibly kind coming up. Like,
Plus,
Kaine lost.
there's a lot of star glasses in that seed, so I had tried to save them for some of those mid 30 floors.
Yeah.
Well, did you guys have anything else you wanted to add as comments here?
No, I think I'm alright.
Nothing comes to mind, though.
Awesome. Well, I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up here then, folks. Just a few shout outs here. I'm gonna go ahead once more, drop our Discord in the chat. If you all are on the fence about playing this game, you should just jump over that fence and come join us over here. I wanted to give a shout out to our runners. Thank you, Hextree and Kaine, for filling up our morning with some incredibly insane seeds. What a race it was. Thank you, Gene, for co-commentating with me.
Thank you.
I appreciate you being here with me. And I wanted to also shout out to the lovely people at the Speed Gaming who help host this event, that we wouldn't be having this good time without them too. And also thank you, chat, for being here. It was a good time this morning. Did you have anything you wanted to add onto here, Gene, before we take off?
No, not really. It was a really, really, really great race, and just to add that Kaine is moving on and facing Vuga in the next match, so that's gonna be another heated match.
That's gonna be one y'all don't want to miss. On that note, I think we're gonna go ahead and call it here. So have a great day, everyone. I hope you had fun, and we'll see you all in the next race.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. See you.
Thank you.